Game Time Live. We are coming with you with more content here today. We've got a lot to talk about, and I am joined by Ramon. I've got Ramon with me today. No Darrell. Darrell's out in Colorado. It's been a minute since we've seen Ramon. I mean, Ramon got hit with the flu, so he was down for the count, but he's back this week. Ramon, great to have you back.
Man, great to be out of the bed, man. That flu did me dirty.
It's great to have you back. I'm excited to get into this one today. Ramon, usually I do this with Darrell, but instead I'm going to ask you, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to start with?
Man, let's go ahead and start with college football, man. It's the best show on earth right now.
Okay. Best show on earth. What are your takeaways, right? I think obviously one of the big ones for me was Miami dropping that game yesterday. The ACC, we talked about it, right? How legit is Miami for real? And, that's a huge loss to drop because now it makes the ACC way more interesting.
My biggest take, and still in the ACC, is Dabo about to be gone.
Yeah.
He's about to be gone. In what world have we lived in where Penn State's going to be open, Clemson's going to be open, Florida's open, LSU's open, Wisconsin is probably going to be open. Man, dude, these are programs.
Yeah.
Big time programs that are all about to come open at the same time. Somebody is not going to get who they want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really interesting. And some associate or assistant head coach is about to get the promotion of his life.
Yeah, I'm curious, what people what coordinator from maybe the NFL drops down, or because the LSU is an NFL-esque job almost.
It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be really interesting, and it's going to take one job to kind of to get feel for the dominoes to start falling for us to see who's going where, what's going where. But then you got Nebraska just extended their coach.
Yeah,
everyone's saying, man, I'm holding on to my coach because it's a problem out there.
Yeah, they extended Matt Rule. I saw that as well, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see where the cards will fall. I mean, is LSU the most marketable job out of all of those jobs, or do you think Florida may be more interesting? What job sounds the most interesting to you at this time? Because obviously it's LSU at number one.
If I would looking at the current jobs that are open, LSU, Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Stanford, and then I think Clemson is going to be open. If Clemson comes open, that's the best one for me.
Yeah.
If Clemson comes open, that's the one because I think that there's enough resources. You can recruit, and you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten. So you got a shot because there's no clear-cut favorite in the ACC. So I wouldn't mind if Clemson comes open, I would look there. Going into LSU and Florida, it's a win now. You don't have 5 years. You got about 3, and then they're going to be looking to replace you. So I don't know. And then with LSU, with the governor coming out saying that the AD will not make this hire, I don't know who my boss is. I don't know if we're all on the same page. So I don't know if I'm going there.
What, LSU?
Yep.
The talent and everything else, I think LSU is probably the most if you want to win a national championship, you probably want to go to LSU. Obviously, Florida's probably right there. I think you make a good case with Clemson. It's crazy, right? I feel like Penn State, the more and more jobs open, the more and more Penn State falls down the totem pole of interesting jobs. It's probably 4th or 5th right now.
Now, I think Penn State's a better job than LSU.
Really?
Yeah, LSU. I don't know
because it'll be easier to win.
LSU, you in the
SEC.
And I'm not. I don't even think the SEC is as tough as people think it is right now.
But
I do. But I think I just don't, man. And it shows every week. But if you don't know who your boss is, you don't know who calling the shots. I'm not going there. Is it the governor? Is it the AD? Is it the president? We all got, for you to win, everybody's got to be on the same page. And at LSU, it does not seem like everyone's on the same page right now. So I don't want to be hired when I don't know who's all on the same page. I want to go somewhere where everyone's going in the same direction. So, man, LSU is not that high to me. Now, as far as talent, yeah, you can get talent into LSU. But if the top part of that structure ain't right, or the foundation of that structure ain't right, I really don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think right now, obviously we'll get away from the coaching a little bit, right? How does Ramon feel about Ohio State at this current moment in time? Because I think right now, when the more we're getting into this season, you're starting to see the contenders and you're starting to see the pretenders as well, right? At the top of the top 25 poll, you got the Buckeyes 8-0, the Hoosiers 9-0, Texas A&M 8-0, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon 7-1, Ole Miss 8-1, and then Georgia Tech 8-1. When you look at it right now, right? I'm with you, right? OHIO, all that. But is there any team where you're like, okay, maybe they give us a fight?
Yeah, I think there's multiple teams that can give us a fight, man. I don't.
Is IU one of them?
IU's a good team. It's hard for me to say what they can give us a fight, and it has nothing to do with who they are right now. Man, IU ain't beat Ohio State since the 80s, man. You wasn't even born then. So I can't really.
I wasn't even a thought.
It's kind of like, can they? But, they probably can. I think IU's a great team. I think Alabama looks good, man. I was dead wrong about Alabama. They're looking a lot better than what I thought they were going to be.
We were both wrong.
Yeah, they're looking.
Darrell's not on here, so we can say that with a little more,
I think right. As much as Darrell doesn't like it, or you don't like it, Notre Dame look good, man.
I guess.
I know you don't like it, but they look good, man. You try to tell me Notre Dame don't look good?
No, they look good. But
they look good, man. Texas A&M look tough.
Yeah, and you know what? Props to Darrell. He said, like weeks before we really got into the thick of it, A&M may be the best team in the SEC, and they're undefeated. They're at the top of it. There's no argument there.
Man, Notre Dame will be back in the top 10 this week, man, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing there too, right? Vanderbilt. There was two major losses in my eyes this week. It was Vanderbilt losing to Texas, and it was Miami losing as well. I think Miami is the biggest one, though, just for the fact that when Miami has completely just their road to the conference championship is basically done. It's done. You're 2-2. You may not even your playoff hopes are basically dashed too. You got Virginia. Yeah. You got Virginia 5-0, Georgia Tech 5-1, Pitt 5-1, Louisville still hanging in there at 4-1 and 7-1 overall. The Mustangs are 4-1 in the conference, but they're 6-3. So you're
talking about beginning of the year. I talked about Louisville and Braun. People want to tell me I was crazy. That Louisville team gonna shock some people. They gonna shock some people.
So what's your outlook on the ACC? Is Georgia? You think Georgia Tech and Virginia are for real?
I think Georgia Tech's for real. I think Virginia's for real. I think Louisville's for real. I think all three of them are for real. Do I think that they're up there with the best of the best now, but I think they're in that. I think that I don't see much difference between 1 through 16. Okay. The margin is very, very small. I think Ohio State's pulling away a little bit, but I don't think it's as great as it used to be as far as the margin between 1 and the top 15, 16 teams. I think it's really close. And you asked me a question about Ohio State and who the two teams that probably, I don't want to say worry because none of them worry me, but the two things that I think teams that will have a good shot against Ohio State are Indiana and Ole Miss, because they can score points. Oh my God, they can score points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you make one mistake, a deadly mistake, if you got the ball, you got a turnover that flips the field or turns into 6 or 3 real quick, that game could go. That margin could expand real quick, or they can catch up real quick. So those two teams kind of like. All right. But then again, I don't know if those two teams are. Indiana's a physical team, but I don't know if they're as physical as the Buckeyes right now. But they are a physical team.
Yeah. I mean, it's all going to be interesting. I think SEC, it's going to continue to shake up. Obviously, I think that Alabama LSU game is still something to watch because you don't know. Alabama may drop it, they may not, but Alabama's on a roll, and then you still got Georgia. Oregon obviously lost to IU, but they're going to still make the playoff and be a contender. I like Ole Miss still. What are your thoughts? Because it's obviously been talked about on our crossover show with Crossroads Sports. Does Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss for either the LSU or Florida job?
Why? They said that on the other station, on the crossover show. I don't be listening to that one. What they say, man?
Just there's been conversation, and Darrell, they know, like I said, they know college football a little more better than me. Darrell, we did talk about Texas A&M and gave them props. You missed it. You're a couple minutes late. But
hey man, log off and enjoy vacation, man. Nobody trying to talk to you through the chat, man.
But Ramon, what I was saying, basically, there's been this conversation. I mean, before Matt Rule signed an extension, there was conversation about Matt Rule, but there's been a lot of hype about Lane Kiffin going to LSU or Florida, just kind of maybe taking that upgrade, even though what he's built at Ole Miss. What would you think about that? Or do you think if there's even a sliver of chance that he leaves?
I don't think that he'll leave, but if he leaves, I would go to Florida. I wouldn't touch LSU, man.
Really?
That's me. I'm not touching LSU.
Would you go to LSU?
Not touching it until they figure out what's going on over there.
They throw you $60 million, Ramon. You're not going?
Oh, yeah, I will, because I'll go ahead and get fired in the first 5 weeks and take the buyout and come on back to Indianapolis. I got a plan. They be like, man, why is he running the wishbone? I'm trying to get fired. I'm trying to get fired. I'm trying to get the buyout. I'm trying to come home. But LSU really, if I'm a prominent head football coach, I'm at a program that's established, a top 10, top 12 football program. I'm doing great recruiting right now at the place I'm at. They love me here. I don't know if I'm leaving for LSU. Now, if LSU higher structure, if I knew, hey, the president was calling this shot, the AD's calling this shot, then I'll go to LSU because you can win at LSU. Yeah. But until they get that situated, man, I'm not going over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm glad Brian Kelly's gone. I find it funny he left Notre Dame because he thought LSU had more of a chance to bring him a national championship, and then he leaves and Notre Dame goes to a national championship. Obviously, they didn't win it, but they get to a national title. So Brian Kelly is the problem. I'm curious to see where he even ends up. Does he get a head coaching job? And where's his possible options? What are your thoughts on Brian Kelly?
I think Brian Kelly's going to have a vacation for a minute.
Not a coordinator job, nowhere. No.
So here's the problem with Brian Kelly. If he is who people say he is, if he's the person people say he is, I don't know if he could follow. I don't know if he can be a coordinator and have someone lead him and be the head coach and him not be who he is.
I was just about to say this.
I'm not sure if that can happen. Hey, man, get off of our chat.
I was just going to say, I think every team that needs a coach, especially the big three, LSU, Penn State, and Florida, they should all call Saban once just to see what the bargaining, what the asking price is, if there even is an asking price, right? You might as well, right? You might as well call them and just see, how much do I got to pay you to get out of the game day chair, sit next to McAfee every week? How much?
I'm going to get Urban Meyer.
I forgot who mentioned this on the Crosstime show. Somebody mentioned Urban Meyer. It may have been me. I got a little crazy and said somebody should call John Gruden as well. But I know Gruden's canceled, so we'll see.
Now, what would be interesting if Penn State go get my man from Ohio State, the old coordinator, wide receiver coach, and he go over there and be the head coach of Penn State. Man, then you got 2 ex-Buckeyes running Penn State. Woo.
Kelly to UCLA. I think Arkansas could be interesting, right? I know Arkansas. There's another podcast I watch, Hog HQ. They're a big Arkansas team. I wonder what they're thinking right now because obviously maybe they go. Maybe they make a head coach change. You said what?
Wisconsin definitely wouldn't take Kelly, man. They're too conservative. You're gonna do it the Wisconsin way. Is Barry Alvarez still at Wisconsin as the AD?
I do not know.
If Barry Alvarez is still in the building in any type of way, Coach Kelly it ain't gonna work. Kelly ain't playing with that. I mean, Barry Alvarez not playing with that.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting for sure. Ramon, you got anything else college football wise that you wanted to hit?
Yeah. Julian Satan for Heisman, man. Come on.
You know what? That's not a bad argument. I have not watched a lot of Ohio State because, well, they ain't been playing nobody. But I have watched a lot of it. I watched a lot of them. But you know what? I heard he's been playing well. So props to Julian Satan. You know, OH.
Baby.
There you go. It's been a minute since we've gotten to do that, so I had to throw you a bone there. I want to pivot over to a sport that I don't watch that often, but I do watch it once it hits October, and that was the MLB. The World Series ended last night. Game 7, the best words you could ever hear. Game 7 of the World Series. Oh. The Los Angeles Dodgers go back-to-back World Series champions in a thrilling Game 7 series. Will Smith gets a home run, I think, in the 9th or 10th inning to give the Dodgers the lead. Man. To get the lead, the Blue Jays couldn't answer back. Vladdy did everything he could to try to rally that team back, but it was all over after a double play by the Dodgers. And I put it out on Twitter, Ramon. It's going to be a long offseason for the MLB. They are going towards a lockout. I don't think there's any question there's going to be a lockout regarding a salary cap now because – and Darrell was the one that said it first, right? If the Blue Jays were to win this, there's not going to be a conversation of a salary cap because they beat the money-built Dodgers. But now that the Dodgers have won, right, even though it went to 7 games, it doesn't matter. The Dodgers won. You're going to have teams saying, well, look at the Dodgers, right? Probably look at the Yankees. Look at the Mets. You know, they've got all this money, and we're all just sitting here, you know, not being able to compete because the Dodgers have – I mean, you look at the Dodgers lineup, you deal with Shohei, then you deal with Mookie, then you deal with Will, then you deal with – and then they had some guy that didn't hit well at all. The whole World Series gets a home run to tie it up 4-4. So you just I don't know. But at the same time, and Darrell brought this up as well, the players – I don't know how much the players want this change, how much will the owners truly want this, but I do think we're heading towards a lockout. I think we may be seeing a salary cap.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. But I think eventually a small markets are going to be in trouble because the big markets are showing if you could build it through payroll, you can win a championship, and people are doing it. What I enjoy thoroughly is 11th inning, my man Will Smith hit a home run, and I swear I nod off, man, and I'm out of it a little bit because I'm up all day watching sports.
Yeah.
I nod off. I hear Will Smith hit a home run, and I jump up, man. I was like, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air just hit a home run. Oh, my God. But then I wake my eyes, and I see, it's the real Will Smith.
Smack the ball like he hit Chris Rock.
And then that double – then my man turned that double play. I like that Chris Rock joke. That's nice. That reference is cold, baby. Like Oscar Award winning there. That was good.
Crazy. No, it was. I mean, and like I said, I'm not the biggest baseball guy. My brother is playing baseball, so it's gotten me more into the sport. So I've watched a lot of it. I've become a Reds fan, which I probably cursed myself doing that, but it is what it is. So, but we'll see what happens.
Magic Johnson is like a natural. He's just a winner.
I know.
Whenever he touched,
he needs to come back to the Lakers. I don't know why he left.
Man, let's not start talking about the Lakers, man. Stop talking about the Lakers.
Nah, we're gonna bring them up today. Ramon, you haven't been here yet, but we've got a Zay's Ways NBA tier list to go over today as well.
That's good, man, because I hope you're talking about as we transition from Major League Baseball to the NBA. I hope Zay is talking about the Lakers need to go ahead and trade Bron.
Oh boy! Okay, I'm excited to talk about that.
They playing way better without Bron. Everybody seems free.
It's gonna be fun.
Everybody seems free to play with Bron on the bench.
Austin Reeves does look good, and I was an advocate of trading AR this offseason, so we will get into it. But overall, I mean, we'll see what the MLB does. We're going to have two sports in a lockout this offseason. It'll be the MLB and the WNBA. Both of those sports are heading towards a lockout as we speak.
Yeah, that WNBA lockout, man. I don't know.
They got to do what they got to do, man.
It's kind of like, you're going to lock out, man. It's like, for lack of a better term, it's like waving a gun with no bullets, man. Is anybody going to care that you're gone?
There will
I
be
know I'm gonna get a lot of flack about that, and I enjoyed every WNBA game I've been to the last couple of years, and I enjoy looking at it. And I definitely enjoy discussing it and arguing about it, whether it's here or social media. But as a whole,
you got to be a realist.
We got to be real with it. How many people are going to bat down and say, "Man, I can't believe this gone," and really be mad about it? No, that's going to be the struggle. And we saw, when CC got hurt, you didn't even hear about much of the WNBA on anything on any platform.
Ticket prices dropped. I mean, yeah.
So it's like, I want them to make more. They deserve, because their product is actually pretty darn good.
No, I agree.
The environment is great. It just hasn't been, for some reason, the masses haven't gravitated to it.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see what happens. I think both lockouts will be interesting. Obviously, the MLB is more likely to make. I mean, the MLB is a little more like 40-60, right? In terms of a lockout, it may happen, it may not. I think the NBA or the WNBA. I mean, it's heading towards a lockout. I mean, it's been pretty much talked about at this point. It is heading for a lockout. But Ramon, before we get into my tier list, I've been doing a couple late night shows here on the podcast called GameTime After Hours, about 15-20 minutes, me talking about the NBA slate, like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. After all the games have wrapped up. We haven't gotten to talk to you about the NBA season. Darrell caught a lot of flack, right? Because he keeps saying, "Oh, we're only a week in. We're only 2 weeks in. We don't need to talk about the NBA." And people got onto him saying, "Oh, you don't want to talk about it because the Pacers are 1-5 or whatever." So he put out a video kind of answering back at that. But I want to get your thoughts on the NBA. I know you've been busy, right, with football and coaching and everything else. So I don't know if you've gotten the chance to watch a good amount of NBA games or just look at the standings. What are your overall thoughts? Just, from an outsider's perspective looking in, because I know obviously college football is still your main thing right now.
Man, I gotta go watch the Chicago Bulls play, man.
Oh my goodness, I said the same thing. I don't know where this is coming from.
I'm going to the next time they on TV or anything, I'm gonna watch the whole game from warm-ups to post-game speech. I gotta figure out what the heck is going on in Chicago. Did Mike and Scotty come back?
No, Mike and Scotty didn't come back. Josh Giddey. They're saying Josh Giddey looks like Steve Nash out in Chicago.
I gotta check that out, man. Check that out.
Yeah, Well, you know who also looks good over there is Buzelis. I can't say it. Matas Buzelis, I think is how you say it. He's played really well for the Bulls as well. I think the big thing for the Bulls, I was doing some research. Their bench scoring, the bench is giving them like 40 points. Their bench is doing really well for them. Is one of the big things that I saw. I've watched. So if I can't watch the game, the NBA posts a lot of highlights of all their games. So I went back and watched a lot of their games as well. When you look at the team ratings right now, and that's another thing I've tried to pay attention to. They're 6th in defensive rating, and they're 6th in offensive rating as well. So they're just yeah. They're doing, like, for example, the Mavericks, right? At the bottom in offensive rating, but at the top in defensive rating. The Hornets, I think they're either at the mid pack in offense and they're at the bottom on defense. So they're just a couple examples to show, you can kind of look at these ratings very early on and see why these teams are playing well and why these teams are playing bad.
So tell me the rating about the Orlando Magic, man.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Because you said they're gonna be really good this year.
I know. So the Magic are where they at? So they're 22nd in offensive rating, defensive rating. They sit 22nd as well.
Oh, so they still stink.
I've watched a good amount of them, and what I would think is I think they're still trying to gel at just based off watching them. I think Franz Wagner looks really good. It seems like Paulo has taken not a step back, but a step back in the terms of he realizes there's more offensive options on this team. Now, I think when it gets to crunch time, the ball needs to be in his hands. Mm-hmm. That's probably my only thing for that. The ball's got to be in his hands a lot more. I think Orlando will figure it out. I did drop them in my tier list. I had them up there in that championship tier with New York and Cleveland. Same thing with Detroit. I had to drop Detroit as well. I don't think Detroit has looked all that great, but they started to figure it out here in these last couple games. But I think Orlando will figure it out in due time.
Okay.
So who else have you been looking at? I think Atlanta's been fine, and then Trae Young's out for 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens there. So that sucks.
I saw a little bit of some highlights of San Antonio.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts there, right? I got on here and I made a 15-minute video about Wemby. It got like 500 views on the channel for us. Talking about Wemby.
That guy's silly.
He took a leap. I called it this offseason. Darrell thought I was crazy saying Spurs to the Western Conference Finals. Like, it's a real possibility.
Like, that's silly. Like, it's silly, man. Like, I don't know what to say because some of the stuff he's doing, you be like, you're not supposed to be able to do that, bro.
Yeah.
That's not what you're not supposed to be able to do that. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're 7'12", and you're not supposed to go through your legs, around your back, step back for the three, then head fake, jab, blow past somebody, reverse dunk. You're not supposed to do all that at 7'12", man. Yeah. You're supposed to be extra basket, sky hook, jump hook.
Nah,
man, you're doing everything, man. Your bag is huge, man.
You know who also looks good early on in the year? Portland.
Yeah,
Portland looks good. Portland looks like a playoff team, regardless of what happened a couple days ago with Billups.
I'm telling you, man, Portland like somebody you should bet on. Oops, my bad. Too soon?
Hey, I have put money on him this year and it worked out.
Soon?
I don't know. We agreed not to bring it up, but yeah, I mean Tiago Splitter, he's coaching a clinic. I mean, yeah, you weren't here, so we were just like, yeah, we don't have the need to talk about it. If you've got a thought about it, you can personally bring it up. I have no problem with it.
I got a thought about it. I used to sit and talk to my friends, right? And then some older gentlemen used to always tell me, hey, you know the NBA rigged. You know the NBA rigged. I'm like, oh, man, no, man. Now I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Is this? Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Do we really know?
I already said the lottery. The lottery's been rigged, right? And hold on, before we go any further, Adam Silver, you owe the Indiana Pacers a top 3 pick. I'm letting you know right now, if their record continues to be this egregious, they are owed a top 3 pick in this year's draft.
Yeah, dude, this is crazy, man. So
but they beat the Warriors last night with Quentin Jackson as their leading scorer.
Hey, maybe that was maybe he told my man, like, look, man, if you give us all the names of everybody involved, we'll make sure Portland make the playoffs. That's what the FBI said.
I mean, they're 4-2, Lakers behind them at 4-2, and then after that, you got a lot of teams at 3-2 and 3-3.
Them Lakers look pretty good with this roster. I like this roster.
So I've been a roller coaster in these first couple games, right? Opening night, I was gonna scrape my eyes out with a spoon watching Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt. But Jared Vanderbilt looks good. There's a certain lineup that I like that they run where it's a small ball lineup and Vanderbilt's at the 5. I like that lineup for Vanderbilt when he's not playing in that lineup. I really don't need him on the floor, to be quite honest with you. And yes, I've seen the talk about, they should trade Bron. And I'm not opposed to trading Bron at all. I want to see how he looks when he comes back. I don't know, and we've talked about this a little bit too, right? If AR and Luka are your top 2 players, that's a defensive liability on the other side of the floor. But I'm curious what you think. the way they've produced on offense, do you think do they produce enough on offense to be that liability on defense?
With who? Who's the liability?
AR and Luka. I'm not talking about Bron yet. I'm talking about, so say Bron does get traded. Are AR and Luka enough to keep this team a contender? And is their offensive production, because their offensive production has been insane, just those two alone, is their offensive production good enough to where you can kind of forget about how much of a liability both are on defense? But in the case of Luka, he has shown a lot more effort on defense this year as well. But he's still alive. Go ahead.
No, here's my in a trade, would you get some kind of defensive help?
Probably. I mean, if you go to Cleveland, because I've seen Cleveland, people have asked about Cleveland, right? You obviously asked for Jared Allen. You're not getting Mobley. You're not going to get D. Mitch, right? Yeah. I think you asked for Jared Allen. You're not going to get Allen and Garland. That's me. Like, if you can get Allen and some picks, that's fine with me. I would take Jared Allen.
So if you can get some defensive help in a trade, I think it's smart, because your Brown fans, I don't want to hear this. He don't play no defense either. He a liability too on defense. So it's not like when he comes back, we getting a stopper. Or I can't say weak. I'm not coming back to the Lakers yet. He gone. So I can't say that the Lakers have a stopper when he comes back. It's just another defensive liability. So if you can get somebody who can play D, and they can continue that the offensive prowess, the power they got between those two, I think it's a good trade.
Yeah,
just a little younger.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what they do. I don't think this roster's been bad. Austin Reeves with an absolute carry this week. Just absolute insane performances from Austin Reeves. And, we talked about it a little bit about trading AR. And I'm not opposed to trading AR or Bron. I really just don't think Bron gets moved as much as it would help the Lakers. I don't think they're going to move Bron unless he wants to leave. And I think after these 6 games, you do think, what is he thinking? Does he want to leave? Is he thinking, okay, maybe we've got a shot? This roster still has holes in it, in my opinion, right? Dalton Connect, you just don't play him, so you need to trade him. I think Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, and Vanderbilt are the 3 guys you gotta move. Vanderbilt is probably my most least likely one because, like I said, I think he's found his way into the lineup when they run the small ball lineup and him at the 5. Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia have been 2 really good pickups for them. LaRavia put up 20 points against Minnesota or something like that. Marcus Smart, he's playing in spurts, but he's kind of like a little lightning bolt on the defensive side of the ball. I don't need him to make a bunch of shots offensively. If you can give me 1 to 2 3-pointers, that's fine, but don't shoot 6 of them and only make 2, right? I like the way the Lakers look. DeAndre Ayton, and I will continue to say this, if you get him involved early, his motor will ramp up throughout the game. He'll look good defensively and he'll look good offensively, but you have to get him going early. And I think with this stretch of Luka being out, I think Austin Reeves did a good job and the team did a good job of including Ayton in the offense because you really had no choice with Luka not being there. Because Luka came back and Ayton had 9 points and 0 rebounds. Like, you have to get him involved in the game. I don't care if Luka and AR aren't in. You've got a big man that loves the pick and roll and has one of the best touches in the league and can hit a mid-range from anywhere out on the floor. Why don't you give him the ball a little bit more? That's probably my biggest gripe with Redick at this moment in time. I think the rotations have been better since opening night, but my biggest thing is still you got to get Ayton involved, or Laker fans, you're going to be mad when he's not doing what you want him to do. Well, I would be mad too if I'm like, Ayton's a really good offensive player. If I'm not getting the ball, I mean, yeah, it's hard not to get frustrated.
How aggressive is he?
Ayton? I mean, yeah. I think, and when you look at Ayton, he's not a center where he's like backing you down, going for a hook shot. He can do it, but he is a mid-range shooting type of big. And
but
go ahead.
Does he ask for the ball? Does his presence command, like, hey, if I ball screen and I slip it or I float it or I sprint to the corner or whatever I do, am I calling for the ball? Am I going to attack him when I get the ball, or am I just there? And like, if
I think it just depends on the play. Like, there's times where you can see like he's going to the basket, but a lot of times when he is going to the basket, he's not like running for a oop. Sometimes he is, but a lot of times, and if you watch highlights, you can go back to any highlights of Ayton. He's usually rolling and getting to about the elbow of the free throw line and getting the ball and going for that mid-range floater or jump shot that he does, because it's so like it's automatic. Like he can hit it 9 out of 10 times when he gets it in that spot. And so a lot of the time he's either going for an oop or he's going for that shot. And either Luka gives it to him or Luka doesn't, or AR gives it to him or he doesn't. It's really just a matter of if he gets the ball or not, which has kind of been my issue. You got to feed him the ball. Now, don't force feed it to him when there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock, because they were doing that to him on opening night and everyone was mad he wasn't getting nothing done. I'm like, well, you're giving him you're not giving him a lot of time to work with.
Right.
So that's my spiel on it. I don't think they've looked bad through 6 games. They lost to Portland, funny enough, and Portland's ahead of them right now. But there was no Luka that night, so we'll let it slide. I don't think the Lakers have looked bad. I think they've looked better than a lot of the teams that I have them beneath in the tier list. Speaking of the tier list, Ramon,
give me the tier list, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I want to hear this, man. Let me pull up these standings, some of these stats. Go ahead.
You see, we got some sound effects now too, right? We got the drum roll. All right, we'll start with the Eastern Conference, Ramon. I'm gonna scroll down first. I'm gonna actually scroll down. So we start down here in the draft lottery tier, and obviously I've got the Brooklyn Nets logo, a trash can on fire right here. So we've got the Nets down there in draft lottery tier. Moving up to I don't know, I've got the Pacers, Raptors, and the Wizards. Ramon, I would advise you to watch some highlights of the Wizards. And I say this only because they want to be the Portland of the East is the way that I've looked at it. They've got the right pieces to maybe be a play-in team this year, but I don't know if it's fully there yet. Alex Sarr looks really polished in the highlights that I've been watching of him. I mean, the game against Philadelphia, even though they choked that game and lost, I mean, he was obviously Embiid's not the same Embiid, but he was going right at Embiid, attacking, like knowing, like, okay, this is a deer without its fourth leg, like just attacking him all night long. Alex Sarr looks really good early on in this one. I would watch the Wizards a little bit if you can, maybe not a full game, but just some highlights. The Raptors I've got also in this tier. I think Toronto, I don't know how to gauge it yet, right? What is Scotty Barnes? Is he one of those number one option players, or is he not? Brandon Ingram, I think you kind of know what you're getting from him. He's not a bad duo piece. The Raptors have so many pieces. I think for me, it's a matter of can they put it together? And then obviously Indiana, I've got them down here because of their record and all the injuries. Any thoughts on these teams in these bottom 2 tiers?
Nope, not at all. I can't believe you got the dumpster fire right there, man. That's crazy. But from the small, sample size that I've seen through highlights, and because I haven't called a full game yet, seems pretty accurate. And I'm kind of hurt that I'm agreeing with you on something, because I usually enjoy arguing and fighting with you, but I guess you're right this time, man. Damn.
It may change when we scroll up. You may feel a bit differently here. Let's go to play-in and playoffs. There's been a lot of movement in this tier for me, Ramon. So at one point, the Pistons and the Magic were all the way up in that championship tier, and this is just regarding the East, and I'm going to say something about the East here in a minute. But looking at the play-in tier, I still don't trust Chicago, even though they're 5-0, right? I think, you can use this argument of we're 5 games into the season when you want, and I'm going to use it in this moment right now. We're 5 games into the season. The 2021 Chicago Bulls were first in the East for about a month, and then it all went downhill. So I'm not trusting Chicago quite yet. Miami looks pretty good very early into the season. They've got a lot of just scorers that can get it done. And this is without Tyler Herro as well. So they'll probably be a play-in team. And then the Charlotte Hornets, I already talked about it on the After Hour show. When you're 25th in defensive rating, nothing's going to go for you at this point. They look pretty okay offensively with Bridges, Knuppel, and LaMelo, but defensively, this team is absolutely atrocious. And I just don't think you're going to get nowhere with playing that bad of defense. Your thoughts on the play-in tier?
So you got the 5-0 team.
I do right now, yeah.
And then in the playoffs, before you even get there, you got the Orlando Magic. Man, log off, man.
No, listen. If I'm thinking, what are we, 5 games in? If I'm thinking like 75, 78 games out, I don't know if I see Chicago in the play-in tournament. I just don't know if I see that. I could be completely wrong, but if they're a top seed in these playoffs, if they get in the playoffs and don't even have to play in the play-in, then my apologies. I'll be wrong, but I gotta see about 15, 20 more games in Chicago.
Then if you got to see 15, 20 more games for Orlando also, man, because they stink right now.
Yeah, but I still have a bit of my preseason expectations mixed into this tier list so far. And I think 5 games in is fair enough to say I still have some of my expectations lingering in my head, right? I think Orlando will figure it out as time continues to roll on.
And Boston in the play, man, they got I'm really, that's why they're at the end of the tier list though, because I'm really but they still on that tier list, man. They got an all-star top-notch player whose hair is rubbing off other people's jerseys, man. Man, put that boy down there.
And you know what? I was talking to Darrell about Jaylen Brown, and I'm like, man, tell me right now, if it was vice versa, if Tatum would have popped his Achilles, if Brown would have popped his Achilles and Tatum didn't, this team would have made all the moves in the world to try to contend. But Tatum went down, and they said, you know what? We're just going to blow this thing up. We'll give you one additional piece in Anthony Simons. Other than that, you better show us why we should have maybe built a contender around you this year.
That just shows who they believe in more.
Yes.
And
personally,
the Celtics believe in Tatum like you believe in the Magic.
There you go. And you know what? Rightfully so. I mean, Tatum brought them a championship. I'm not saying Brown wasn't a big piece of that. He won the finals MVP, but I mean, the brother still can't go left.
Yep.
You can't go left. You're not going to be a number one option if you can't drive both ways down the floor. Obviously, you've got your preferred side of the court, but I mean, I don't know. I know Darrell loves him some Jaylen Brown, but I'm sorry. I just don't think he's not the number one option that some people think he truly is. Obviously, as we dip into the playoff tier, I still have Orlando in here. I think they will figure it out as time continues to go on. What's their record? 1-4?
Who?
Orlando. It's 1-4.
Where are they at, man?
Jesus, 1-4 is nasty.
They're 3-4 now.
Oh, all right. Oh, we're good. Okay, fine with me. They brought it. They gained 2. They won 2 in a row. Last time I checked, they were 1-4.
Yeah, they are. They have won 2 in a row.
Okay, so I feel a little bit better after today. What?
They beat the Heat and the 76ers.
And you know what? We're going to talk about.
I'll take that back. They beat the Wizards and the Hornets. So they ain't beat nobody.
Yikes. All right. Moving on. Atlanta's another team that I may have to drop down. Obviously, Trae Young's going to be out for 4 weeks with an MCL injury or MCL sprain, whatever they call it. I am curious to see because I think this team, Trae Young's stats have gone down, right? He's averaging 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. But I think it's because they did a good job of reloading this roster. They've got Porzingis, who's averaging 19. Jalen Johnson seems to be trying to take that leap. He's averaging 28 and 5. Nickeil Alexander-Walker averaging 17, 2, and 3. The Hawks have a roster that is capable of winning without Trae Young on the floor right now. It's just a matter of will they get it done? I'm expecting a lot out of Jalen Johnson and probably Porzingis, but more Jalen Johnson. I like this Hawks roster, Ramon, if they can get to the playoffs.
I can't.
No, I get you. Yeah.
I can't get behind a Trae Young led team, man. I just can't,
That's
man.
Fair. But he's shown he can win. There's an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. He has shown he can win. There's a lot of people There's a lot of people in this East and the West that can't say they have a conference finals appearance. And Trae Young arguably did it with a worse roster back then.
I can't do it, man.
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
It's going to take a lot for me to get behind a Trae Young-led team, man.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Philadelphia is next up on the tier list. They have rocketed way up on my tier list after because, man, VJ Edgecombe, you have saved this organization from absolute mediocrity. I said something about trading Embiid, and I shouldn't have said it because it's very slim if he gets traded or not. His contract is way too much money. But his contract is more tradable than Paul George's, but it's not by a lot. And so the teams that would want to trade for Embiid, it's going to be slim pickings. Do you see Embiid getting traded, Ramon, or do you think he stays here and they just kind of let Edgecombe and Maxey carry them throughout the season and try to keep Embiid as healthy as possible for playoffs? Because he's not going to play back-to-back even when we get to playoffs.
I could see that as the season goes on, if they're winning more without him, them trading him.
Just dump him for whatever.
Just for whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if they start seeing, because the more they win and not need him, the more possibility of some other internal issues happening.
Yeah.
You know, I've been the guy. You can't deny how talented the guy is.
Embiid?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you got a highly talented, highly skilled person who you don't need to win, and and people need to be felt like they're needed.
Yeah.
So this could cause some stuff. This cause some locker room issues, man. So if Philly starts winning in an impressive way when he's not playing, then they're gonna go get some people for him.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Detroit, I had Detroit pretty low a couple of days ago. I moved them back up to the top of the playoff tier just because I think Detroit is starting to figure it out. I mean, they've got the roster. They should be championship contenders in the East. And by championship contenders, I mean a finals appearance. I don't think I'll talk about the East as a whole here in a second. But I've got Detroit in the playoff tier as of right now. Let me move this up to show you the championship contender tier. And there it is right there, championship contender tier. There is a space in between Milwaukee and the other two teams for a reason. But Ramon, I have been thoroughly impressed with Milwaukee thus far in the season. The team is literally built like a LeBron team in the 2010s. There's just shooters around Giannis. Nothing else. Just shooters on shooters on shooters, and it works. And Giannis, I get it, Giannis has put up 30 points and 10 rebounds and 10 assists on almost every game. He's doing superhuman levels of basketball right now. But it doesn't excuse the fact that they do look good. You've got Cole Anthony producing. You've got Gary Trent producing. They've got the guys that they brought in that they thought were going to produce in Miles Turner and Kuzma aren't even playing that well yet. And they've got these other guys playing well for him. So the guys that they expected to play well aren't even playing well yet. So this roster, in my eyes right now, could only get better as the season progresses if you've got the guys that you didn't expect much out of already giving you 20 points in some nights. You can call me crazy.
Crazy.
Call me crazy. There is a chance in this East that Giannis gives you a LeBron James 2018-esque run to the finals. There is a chance.
So I'm not gonna get into that LeBron-esque run and how that run I think formulated, but I think the Bucks. Yeah, I think the Bucks. I think they're better than I thought. For sure. They're better than what a lot of people probably thought, including me. But I don't think that they got the horsepower to go 82 games against how good the East could be and look like it will be, and be a contender. I think they'll be a playoff team, and I think that they'll get to the second round possibly. But do I think they could come out of the East and win a championship? Nah, not at all.
I'm not. Look, and we're going to talk about it here in a sec. I've got New York and Cleveland obviously at the top of this tier. Ramon, there is not a team out East that can beat a team out West right now. So that's my overarching thought about the East. The East is the ACC, and the West is the Big Ten /SEC. The East is just not fit to compete for a championship right now in any term. Now, and this has been the problem with the Eastern Conference for decades on decades on decades. You built these teams up, and Boston and Indiana, and there's probably one more team that I'm forgetting. You have these built up teams, right? And then they get injured, and then you've got the backups, and they get injured. That's been the problem with the East. You got your main guys, and then those teams get thrashed because of injury. So now you got your backups. Are your backups, New York and Cleveland, going to get hurt? And then we're relying on the backups, and Detroit and Orlando and Milwaukee. That's been the issue with the East since I've been a little kid. The East builds these teams up, and then they get thrashed by injuries or someone going to the West or something like that. That is the problem with the East, and now you're seeing it once again. I think New York is more capable of winning a championship than Cleveland right now because Cleveland gets more injury riddled than New York does. Cleveland is still dealing with injuries right now as we speak. New York's got the best shot to win a championship, but they're not beating Oklahoma City. They're not going to beat the Houston Rockets. They're not going to beat. They won. I think their closest matchup in the West, if I'm thinking top teams in the West, they better pray they get Golden State because they're not beating Oklahoma City. They're not beating Houston. They're not beating San Antonio. They're not beating the Timberwolves. They're not beating those. They're not beating Denver. There's my other team. Those 5 teams right now, they're not beating. Maybe they beat the Lakers. Maybe they beat the Lakers. Maybe they beat Golden State. I think both of those are maybes. And then at this point, you may not even. No, they'll beat Portland. I was about to be rude, but they'll beat Portland. But I think right now, you run into any of those top 5 teams in the West, you're not. It's a 5-game series, maybe 6 games. I don't buy the East right now, regardless of who comes out of it. It's interesting because this conference is just going to eat itself alive for the whole year. But somebody better build some mental fortitude come the finals because you're going to need it. I hope the East is just a bunch of game 7s because a lot of these teams are going to need this playoff experience going into the West. That is for sure when they go to the finals. Who do you think New York is still the favorite right now?
Out the East, yeah, they gotta be.
Is Cleveland close, or is there a gap? Because I think it's New York, maybe about Cleveland, right about here, and then there's a big gap, and then everybody else is.
I think New York, and I think Cleveland, Philadelphia, and Detroit are closer to each other than they are to New York.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's just me. That's just what I think.
No, that's fair. I mean, Philly has shocked a lot of people. Milwaukee has shocked a lot of people. I think Detroit's going to figure it out. I think Orlando will figure it out. Atlanta is still a question mark. But I think if Trae Young can get to the playoffs, I mean, he's going to take whoever he plays in the first round to 7 games. And they may be the higher seed. I'm just saying, if they're the underdog going into a final. I mean, I like Atlanta. When you look at everybody in the East, even if, say Orlando matches up against New York, that could be 7 games right there. Detroit and New York, that could be 7 games. Milwaukee and New York, maybe about 6 games. I think whoever you play in the East, unless you get Chicago or Miami or Boston, you're probably going 6 to 7 games, maybe at best case scenario 5. All right.
It's that East is going to be interesting because, even with your tiers, there's not too much difference between the tiers.
No, not at all. I mean, it's close. It's close all the way. Honestly, if Indiana gets healthy, it's close all the way down to Indiana. I mean, because screw Brooklyn, it's close all the way down. Because Washington doesn't even look that bad.
I'm about to tell all my Brooklyn people, man. I'm like, hey, look, I ain't got nothing to do with him with the trash can fire, man. Don't come for me.
They're just garbage. They're garbage. They're garbage. They should have stayed. You should have stayed in New Jersey. Just garbage. They're just a poorly run organization. You had KD and Kyrie, and you couldn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go to the West, the conference everybody wants to discuss. So we are going to go ahead and preview the West. All right, starting at the bottom. And Ramon, you get to see one change to the tier list today. I am moving New Orleans all the way down to the draft lottery tier, and they're gonna sit. They're actually gonna stay. They're gonna be above Phoenix and Sacramento, but and the reason I'm putting New Orleans here is because Ramon, I don't understand. It's the reason I've got Brooklyn down there too. I can't stand incompetent organizations. New Orleans not only traded their first round pick this offseason, but they also gave back the Pacers' first round pick. Remember when the Pacers made that trade before the finals?
Yep.
During the finals to get their first round pick back. I bet New Orleans, that general manager's got to get fired because you have your own first round pick you don't even own. I think Atlanta owns it. I don't know off the top of my head. And then the pick you had for the Pacers that right now looks like a top 3 pick, you traded back to them for I don't even know what. So I got to move New Orleans down just off that alone.
I'm not even sure what New Orleans is doing anymore.
New Orleans, they've played good, right? Zion looks good, even though we're just because we're 5 games in, but they're losing. They haven't won a game, I don't think, yet.
Just from an organizational standpoint, from the top to the court, I just don't understand them.
Yeah. Same thing with Sacramento. They're just mediocre, right? Westbrook, Schroeder, Zach LaVine. You just got a bunch of mid thrown together, right? Just yikes. You got a bunch of I don't know. Like that's Burger King. What's some other mediocre restaurants? You got Burger King. What's the one pasta place? Fazoli's. You got a bunch of just mid next to each other. Skyline Chili.
Rallies.
Rallies ain't they're mid. That's fair. I don't know. Rallies could be good on certain days.
Man, it's like 8 people that eat at Rallies all week, man.
That's real. I got Phoenix down here in this tier as well. I mean, man, yikes. Poor Devin Booker. Yikes.
They were so promising a couple years ago.
And they just blew it up. Crazy. Up next in the I don't know tier, I've got Memphis and Utah. Utah don't look half bad, but it's Utah. Memphis, John Morant can't stay out of trouble. He got suspended a game.
Stop. Y'all remember when I used to talk about Ja, right? When I used to say, hey,
go ahead.
Get rid of him. We can't win. You can't win with him.
And I didn't disagree.
I had all them question marks about Ja, right?
Yes.
And he's becoming more and more who I thought he was going to become, man. And that interview the other day in the locker room, I mean, that was terrible, man.
Horrible.
Did you see it?
Yes. Yep.
Like, dude, man, you supposed to be a superstar, and you acting like this.
And he's regressed, too. He doesn't have the same explosiveness. He's gotten better as a shooter, but Ja is not the same Ja that came out of college. That is for sure. Up next in the play-in tournament tier, I have the Clippers and the Blazers. Obviously, the Blazers are playing pretty well right now, but first year of playing some winning basketball, I'm not going to put you on a high horse and put you up there in the playoff tier just yet. You're in the Western Conference too. It's the West. I got to take a lot of things into account, Ramon, before I can just throw them up there in that playoff tier. But I've got the Blazers in there. I've got the Clippers. I think the Clippers, they'll probably stay in play-in tier for me right now until the rankings are a little more defined out. But Clippers get to the playoffs, they'll be a dark horse, but James Harden will choke when it matters most. That's all I got to worry about. I know when it gets down to it and it's time to close the show or win game 7, James Harden's going to put up 8 points. So I know what we know what the Clippers ceiling is.
You got the Clippers as play-in.
Yeah.
And I see somebody that you got as a playoff team who I'm like, what?
Come Dallas?
On. Yes.
Yeah. No. No, I know. I thought about moving them down to play in tournament tier already.
Down to I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy. I can't put them down there with Memphis and Utah right now.
Man, why not? We don't know when the little fella coming back.
Kyrie?
We don't know if the Brow gonna make it for a whole year. The
Cooper
kid
Flag looks all right.
Huh?
I said Cooper Flag looks all right, but I already said I'm not expecting much.
He looks just all right. So, man, we come on, man.
All right.
D'Angelo Russell's going to implode at some point.
I'm not putting him in I don't know tier. I will put him at the back of the play-in tier, though. I'm not moving Portland up, not yet, and I think that's fair to say. I'm not moving Portland up quite yet.
I'll ride with that.
Okay. Up next in the playoff tier, I've got the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Warriors. These are in order, by the way. Like, this isn't like the NFL where it's out of order. These are in order how I perceive it right now. Golden State is first, Lakers are second, Rockets are third. And Ramon, you haven't been here, and I've been saying it. I think a lot of people are underestimating Fred VanVleet being out. The Rockets truly need a point guard, like a point guard. You can't do point guard by committee. And Reed Shepherd, once again, brother, there's 4 other people on this roster that can score the basketball better than you. Pass the ball, learn the offense, start running the sets and the actions, because I don't know if they're going to acquire a point guard, but man, they need to acquire a point guard that's going to actually facilitate and do point guardish things.
Yeah.
That's my one thing on Houston right now. It's like I can't put you over LA and I can't put you over Golden State because you're great. I mean, it's offensively you guys look all right. Defensively you guys are stout, but you need a point guard. I mean, we Kevin and KD should know this. You had this same issue in Phoenix. You needed a point guard, and they were hesitant to get one for some reason. Talent can only get you so far.
Yeah. Like, I can't argue with that, man. Kevin Durant is a player that plays better when he has a point guard.
Just get him a point guard. Reed Shepherd's a shooting guard. He's a 2 guard. I get it. The NBA is a little more positionless nowadays, but you still need a point guard. You got to have one. I get it. There's different point guard archetypes, right? But it doesn't matter. A point guard's a point guard, and this team needs a point guard.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all their numbers and stuff like that, man. Whew.
Yeah. I'm about to check. What is it? Defensive rating? Are they there's no way they're at the bottom defensive rating. Where are they at? They're probably middle of the pack. So they're 19th in defensive rating. Offensive rating, they're actually first, funny enough, and I'm calling for a point guard. But their record doesn't show that, right? I mean,
so who leads that team in assist, man? Who do you think?
If you want me to guess before I look, I'm gonna say Sengun.
Yep.
Oh, I was right. It was Sengun.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sengun. He's baby Jokic. He's little baby Jokic. That's baby Jokic right there, man. And in the OKC game, I don't know if you watched opening night. They were literally having Sengun bring the ball up the floor. They were doing it was a mix. Sengun, Thompson, Smith, KD. They were having them all bring the ball up the floor. Like, they've got Reed Shepherd, and he's averaging 3 assists. He's not a point guard. This brother shoots the ball. He wants to shoot the ball. Opening night, if he didn't see anyone wide open, he was shooting it. They got to get a point guard in there. They don't got nobody on this roster. I mean, you got Aaron Holiday on the roster, but I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to play Aaron Holiday either. After watching him for the Pacers all those years, I wouldn't want to play Aaron Holiday at all.
Yes, Sengun and Thompson are the leading assists on the team. This is
like, just you're 3-2. I'm sorry, that's not moving the needle for me, even though you're first in offensive rating. Championship tier. I don't think you're going to have a disagreement with me here. Maybe you tell me to move Minnesota down to playoff tier. Wouldn't be opposed to it, but I think 2 Western Conference Finals appearances. When they get to the playoffs, Ant's going to do his thing, right? So I've got OKC first, Denver second, San Antonio third, and Minnesota fourth. I don't really think the top 2 will change in this tier until San Antonio and Denver play, which I will watch all 4 quarters of. That is when I will say, okay, maybe I can put San Antonio second, but I'm still dying on the hill. San Antonio, the Spurs, will be in the Western Conference Finals. I even put money on FanDuel that they'll win the Western Conference, but I've said on this podcast that they will get there, not that they will win it.
I like your tier 1, man. I think Minnesota is kind of like not the top tier, but they're not in the tier with Golden State, the Rockets, and the Lakers either. So I can understand the 4. If there was like a tier between those two, that would be them. But yeah,
but I don't think I don't think I need to put like a space. Like in the East, I put a space to really emphasize it. But I don't think there's a space. Like maybe if there's a gap, it's like about here, but it's not like a full gap. Like Minnesota is, because in my biggest reason is Ant's taking a leap in his shooting. He shoots. Last year, he shot the ball the best of his career, and his shooting has only gotten better. He's looked great shooting the ball the last year and a half at this point. He's taken that leap as a shooter, and I know when it comes down to it, he's going to go win them games in the playoffs. So I don't have an argument for Ant. Any teams you wanna hit on?
No, I think this is good, man. I'm for the most part, I agree with you, man.
You're impressed.
11-2 at 1:05 p.m. I'm actually agreeing with Isaiah, man. Good God Almighty, I'm going to play the Powerball.
There you go.
I know we about to get rich, baby. If I agree with you, man, we about to get these numbers real quick.
My NFL tier list is a bit out of date because obviously the games play today, so I'm not going to pull that up. We're probably going to wrap this show up here in a second. Ramon, thank you, of course, for joining me today. Filling in. Well, not even filling in. Welcome back.
I think the people want to see us go live Tuesday after the college football playoff. Is it Tuesday, the first updated the 12 ranking? Yeah. We should go live right after. No, we should go live before and after.
So you may have to do that with Darrell. I will actually be broadcasting IU East women's basketball that night, so I will not be home, unfortunately. But I don't know when Darrell's back in town. I think Darrell's back Monday night.
We may Monday morning. That could be fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. Me and Darrell usually do a Monday show, but Darrell is in Colorado. I think he's visiting Darren in Colorado. So
he was down there for that butt whooping Prime took, right?
Yeah, yeah. They took a huge L.
Man, points ran on them in 2 games.
Thoughts on the NFL before we get out of here?
The NFL is the NFL, man. It's I don't even know. It's the NFL, man. It's teams that I thought were going to be good ain't good. Hey, if y'all remember when I went to the Colts' first practice open, the first spring, I came back and said they're going to be good.
Yeah,
and fast. Man, they are really good. Man, you could just see it the first time they walked on the field. Like, ooh, this is a different pep to their step. The energy, the aggression, the lottery.
How much is the owner playing a factor in this? You think? Like,
I think
how good they've been.
I think she came. I think they came in. The daughters came in,
but mainly Carlisle or say Gordon. Mainly her.
Yeah, like we're gonna be a team, and we're not only gonna be a team and a family. We're gonna be a team that holds everyone accountable for everything.
Yeah.
And I think that winners like accountability.
Yeah.
You know, losers don't like to be held accountable. It's not in their DNA. But if you got winning in your DNA, you want to be held accountable because it brings out the best in you.
Yep.
So winners like to be held accountable. And she found out that, hey, we got winners in this building. We got winners on this field. We got winners in this organization. It's my job to hold everyone accountable, and now we can win. And that's where they're at.
Man, you would think it's 2008, but you think we're back. You think we're in the years between 2008 and 2013 with these standings. Colts first, Patriots second, Broncos third, Steelers fourth, Bills are fifth. Well, that wouldn't be if it was 2008 to 2013. They wouldn't be here. But the Chargers and the Chiefs.
What I understand is, how you feeling about them Cowboys, man?
Okay, so look, I'll give you my
thoughts. How you feel about them boys?
It's been a minute. Offense looks absolutely great. Dak's playing at an MVP level. Defense is absolutely disgusting. Atrociously disgusting. Horrible. I would sit by week 10 or week 12, I'm sitting Dak. Let's see if we can get a pick. There's no point, depending on what the record is.
They got to do something, man.
It's bad.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but just like I'm not
for my mental well-being. You hope they do better.
For your mental well-being, and they're just like to me, they're just like the team up north in college. I'm not a fan of that team up north either, but the league is better when those two teams are good.
Yeah.
College is better when University of Michigan is good, and NFL is better when Cowboys are good. And so for the brand, you need those type of teams playing at a high level, and they haven't been for a minute.
This was last week. This was last Monday. I did drop the Niners back down to wild card. I need to make some updates to this. I'll let you look around and get some thoughts on it. It's obviously going to get updated after this week, but yeah, man. How do you feel about those Niners? I'll ask you since you asked me about Dallas.
They're injury prone, boy. Ooh, good God,
yeah.
Stay healthy. 5-3 though. I'll take that.
They're the 7th seed. They're in right now.
Yeah, well, what we're doing, we'll beat the Giants today.
Yeah,
we got the Giants today, right? We'll beat the Giants.
Sucks for Scatterboo.
Yep, sucks. Oh my God! And then
sucks.
We got the Rams. That's going to be tough. But we got the Cardinals, the Panthers, and the Browns and the Titans. All right, we can get on a roll right there.
I think the Cardinals may be a little. Cardinals may give you one. Who else was there? Panthers.
We got Panthers.
That maybe.
We got the Browns.
That's a win.
Got the Titans.
That's a win.
And then we got the Colts. That's not going to be good.
That's going to be tough.
And then we got the Bears and the Seahawks.
Bears will be tough because the Bears are actually sitting behind you guys in 8th.
Man, the Bears are not. They raggedy, man. They can't. Man, the quarterback's taking a step backwards. Yeah.
Falcons 3-4. Yeah, I was completely wrong having them in 5th. I'll do it again next year, though. I'll put them in 5th just for the sport. For the love of the game, I'll put them in 5th again. But no, I like what I've got here in this tier as of right now. Obviously, I need to make some changes to stuff. Probably move the Falcons down. Probably move the Command. I've got the Commanders up here, but I don't really know how to gauge the Commanders quite yet. They're nowhere near the playoffs at this moment in time. Here's my long way to go for the AFC. I still got the Ravens in there twice to emphasize how bad they are. Even though they're making a comeback.
They are.
Jets, shout out to Aaron Glenn and getting that win. Titans, they suck. Dolphins, they suck. Mike McDaniel's actually going to keep his job, apparently.
I don't know how, man.
I don't know. I have no clue how. Texans and Browns, I've gotten I don't know tier. And the only reason I took the Browns out of that tier, Ramon, in tier 5 was because they have not been as bad as the Dolphins, Titans, Jets, Raiders, and Ravens. They've been all right.
No, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Browns, man.
Shadur's going to play once. There's no way he doesn't.
Man,
no way he doesn't. We'll see, though.
I wouldn't want to be part of that organization right now because no matter what, you're going
too much drama.
A certain fan base is bringing a lot of drama. So, like, even if Shador plays, let's say Shador does play, right? And he does bad. Then they're going to blame you. Oh, it's your fault he did bad because you waited too long or you didn't prepare him. So there's nothing you can do to win.
Yeah. Yep. What else? Tier 3 wild card. I've got the Chargers, Jags, Bengals, and Steelers. Bengals and Steelers, it's getting close in that playoff race for the North. Chargers bounce back against Minnesota. We'll see how they play today. Jacksonville is completely they beat Kansas City and that was their Super Bowl, and they have not been the same since. It's unfortunate. They were rolling. Yep. But they're still in contention for the most part. And then playoff teams, I've got the Broncos, Chiefs, Patriots. 3 AFC West teams would make the playoffs right now in the AFC.
What 3?
Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos. Broncos would win the division. Chargers and Chiefs would both be wild card teams.
Yeah, I can see that.
Crazy. I mean, that's what it would be right now if the playoffs started today.
And I can actually see that. I mean, that's a strong reality that it can happen. It will happen.
Draft order. I thought I'll bring this up right now. Draft order as of right now. I don't think this is right. how would the Saints be 9th and the Jets would be 7th, but the Titans are 1st?
Did they pull any trades that?
I don't know. Never mind. I'm not even gonna bring that up. I had it pulled up, but I'm not bringing that up. That don't sound right. The Saints should be 1st.
Hey man, the Patriots and the Giants have already scored.
Yep. So have the Bengals. Bengals scored against the Bears, and the Lions are up 7-6 on the Vikings. Titans are up on the Chargers 7-0.
I just want to let all you guys know that I said that Jackson Dart was better than Shador, and y'all gave me a lot of problems.
Yeah, that is my bad, Ramon.
Y'all gave me a lot of problems.
We've made we're making upgrades here for the Game Time Pod. I know it's been a minute, and one thing we've added is some outro music. We got some smooth outro music for the pod. This is called Daydreaming. So shout out to StreamYard for giving us some music. Ramon, final thoughts before we get out of here. We held it down today. See, we didn't need Darrell.
Hey, the final thoughts of the day is, man, you gotta love athletics, man. You gotta love sport. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll ask you real quick. Who wins the state championship this year in Indiana football?
In football.
6A, 5A, 4A, whatever you want to give me.
Carmel High School, 6A.
Really? I've heard Brownsburg. Again.
Brownsburg, good. I'm going with Carmel High School, 6A.
Right before they rejoin the MIC.
I'm going 5A. I'm going New Pal.
That's fair. I think Cathedral. I was going to say Cathedral.
Cathedral, New Pal play this.
They're matching up already?
Yep, they play this Friday.
It's only the sectional.
So whoever win that, I think gonna win.
Probably win state, yeah.
Gonna win state.
4A is Decatur Central.
If it's at Cathedral, I'm gonna go with Cathedral. If it's at New Pal, I'll go with New Pal.
Is Decatur Central in 5A or 4A?
They're in 6A.
What? Oh, I didn't know that. I knew somebody moved up. I thought it. Yeah.
So they play LC in the sectional championship this coming Friday.
Because LC got the buzzer beater-esque touchdown, right, over LN?
Yeah, I don't think that touchdown should have counted, but
why? What happened? Because I don't.
It was 4th and goal, and the quarterback was running, and he fumbled on the 2, and the ball bounced into the end zone, and LC recovered it, and they gave him a touchdown. But the National Federation of Sports, high school sports rule reads that probably shouldn't have been a touchdown.
Wow.
But, I ain't into the interpretation part of it. I just, from what I read, I don't know if that should have been a touchdown. 4A, I'm going with Chittard.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
3A.
They're powerhouse.
Yep. 3A, I'm going with either Southern Gibson or Cascade.
Okay.
2A and 1A, I don't know.
Fair enough. I don't know them either. I want to give a big shout out to Scott Moore and Grace College. They got a big win. Scott Moore, actually, in the Grace College, they're coming to IU East. They're coming to Richmond in a couple weeks. So Grace versus IU East. If you guys haven't, we're doing a weekly interview series. Myself and Coach Hester, we're doing a weekly interview series for the IU East men's basketball team here on the channel. Make sure to go check that out. I do my own little show about the NBA. It's called Game Time After Hours, where we recap the NBA after all the games have ended at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So please check those out. I think Ramon's going to join me for one of those episodes here soon.
Man, I got you, man. I'll do that. Hey, and the coach.
It's late at night, though. It's a late night show.
I ain't got football no more, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Ramon, I want to thank you for joining me. Welcome back to the pod.
Thank you.
It's great to have you back. We've got some big interviews coming up. I actually got to fill you in on those. Obviously, we had Corey Alford on, our first D1 coach. Sucks we couldn't have you there. We had Walter Alford on last week, but Ramon's going to be back, and we're excited to have him back. He returns, and he gets to co-host today. It was me and him, and we rocked it out. So shout out to Darrell. He's out there in Colorado. He interacted with us a little bit, but folks, that is going to do it. We'll be back for more. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Game Time Podcast.